Welcome to Woodturning with Dick. Ziricote, lovely. You know I love it. I've been using it a lot recently. This is the last of it. There's enough there for a bowl blank, but you see how this lot are a bit thin. This lot are a bit thicker. I do have these bits as well to make extras of each if I need them. You'll recall that small bowl that I did, the last Ziricote one, with loads of sapwood. There's barely any sapwood in this. One piece there, I think, and a slither down on another piece. I think beech is a similar colour to the sapwood, and this is nice and plain. Nothing too special going on with the beech here. If I cut that into segments and intersperse them, you end up with something like this. Forgive all the dry glue, that was where it was dripping down. These lines are the bottom of the vise that I stuck it in and clamped this really tight with lots of wood glue. And that's the bottom. And you can see there written carefully, bottom. So it's definitely going to be the bottom. Because if I did this as the top, I'd have all sorts of splits and cracks. You see all these. As it is, I put them at the bottom so that I can turn them out as I make the bowl. The other one, I put a big chunk in with the very thin pieces of Ziricote as opposed to the thicker pieces on this one. After being planed, they did turn out quite thin indeed. So I've done some fatter bits of beech and a nice big chunk of the Ziricote there. And look at that grain, that is going to be something lovely. Let's crack on. This is going to be a quick video, just showing the pretty bits of the turning, not necessarily every single step. So enjoy. Well, it's obviously going to be this one you want to see first, the one with the big chunk of Ziricote in it. So I'm going to turn this one down first, make it all round, and then we're going to have another close look at it. But I can't wait to get that grain revealed. Here we go. Tiny little flat spot left there. Look at this, lovely bit of beech. I've got the direction going beautifully in the same way in that quarter. Same here. I did it right. I did it right. Interestingly, can you see the sapwood there? That's a little bit more yellow than the beech, obviously. It's not an exact match. It doesn't matter, that bit's coming off. But just in terms of the whitey cream kind of wood colour working with the dark, you'll see what I mean. Let's do the bottom. Is it wrong that I get so excited about these things? How beautiful this wood is and how lucky I am. I hate to say it. Well, no, I don't hate to say it. I love to say it. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I get to work with such beautiful, beautiful woods. And the grain in this Ziricote. Oh, what a lucky, lucky boy I am. Okay, with that rounded off, now I can concentrate on shape. I want to get rid of this bit of sapwood just here that's joining those two bits of beech. So I'm going to round that corner enough to get rid of that, which will determine my shape. Just a very gentle, gradual curve and a very light dip in at the top. Fairly traditional for me in terms of shape of bowl, but I've mentioned this before, a basic shape shows off the grain better than some elaborate dips and curves and ins and outs and burn lines and V's and all sorts of fancy things. To me, a bowl needs to be simplistic so you can show off the grain of the wood. And it's all about the basic shape and the very good finish. Almost there. Very almost there. That will do in terms of shape. Let's put a chuck grip in the bottom and get to sanding. Come back to you in just a sec when we're putting the sander sealer on. And there we are at 320 grip finish. Sander sealer, still some sanding lines there, but it's from the 320, and that will come out with the higher grade grips. Easy, but sander sealer, let's put some of that on and you'll see what I've been looking at. Woo! Once I've sanded this to about 1,000 grit, I think I'm going to, or possibly more, possibly 2,000, just get that final extra shine, give it a coat of wax or two, and then we'll start on the next one. Now, what am I going to do for shape? So the second one, I wanted to do almost a straight side down to a narrow base, yeah, V-shaped type bowl with a slight curvature. But then I've got all this beautiful grain and these little bits of end, and in here and this side, I can't take that away. I'm gonna have to do a very similar shape to the other one, except I'm not going to bow it over at the top, so you won't get that shape of the bowl. You'll get the shape of the bowl in another way. I'm going to do all the turning, put the chuck grip in, and as I usually do, come back to you when I see it sand the ceiling. 2 secs. Just sorry, before I go sand the ceiling, before I go sanding, I've done most of the shape that I like, and I've just noticed I've left a tiny little dip here. Can you see that at the edge? Hang on. Can you see that subtle curve there? I'm going to exaggerate that a little bit because I really like the look of that on this piece. So a little bit more of a dip in there. Then I'll come back to you when I sand the ceiling. 320 finished. Very bold lines in that Ziricote. I love it. I said it in a previous video. I'll say it again in this one. The lines in the Ziricote just remind me so much of Van Gogh's style of oil paintings. Enough said. If you've seen his work, you know what I mean. See my lovely shape of my bowl there? I love that. Oh, look at those rolling mountains almost. Now comes the debate of how fat a rim to have, how to shape it. Straight down angle, have a U in there, a V. Something for gilding, probably not. It's a bit too busy a piece this already. I think probably going to incorporate a fattish rim, maybe an inch, just under an inch, to incorporate both those bits of beech. That's the goal anyway. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at this. I knew it was there, but just, oh, lovely. I think that will do in terms of shape. I've got a slight undercut there. I'm not going to do anything with this rim just yet. I'm going to sand that first, because when I sand, I tend to get a slight burring of this top edge. The sandpaper is making contact with that top corner a lot, and it comes over that way, which I don't want. If it does, and I do the lip afterwards, then I can sand just the lip afterwards once that's all fully sanded. I know what I mean. Hopefully you do too. I'll come back in a minute when I'm putting the sander sealer on the inside, and then we'll do the outside together. Isn't that nice of me? And there it is. There's that bow I was talking about. It's only slight, but it changes the whole shape of that. I want that to mimic the inside there, to mimic this, or be a slightly reduced version of it. Same with this side. You've got that flare out, which actually is exactly what I want on the other piece. So you know how I'll be processing the next one, don't you? In the interim, now I'm just going to take that down just enough to get rid of that lip off there. I finished the inside, nice and shiny. I reckon 5 to 8 mil should just about be perfect. And a nice dip in this, nothing too drastic. I think that will do. Look at that. I've got rid of any up curve in there. And the pattern in that rim is going to be stunning once that's sanded. And there again too. Oh, happy days. Well, I think it worked out very nicely. The colouring, the beech with the Ziricote. I mentioned earlier that they're getting gifted. The one on the right here, with the corners that I cut off and glued together, I made just a nice little, just a nice little pot. Same for that one. Interesting little pattern all the way around. The one on the right is going to get gifted to my general practitioner, my GP, my doctor. One of the nicest men that I know. Just a lovely human being. One on the left to another lovely human being, Alison Smart. I hope you both really enjoy them. I hope you both watch the video. Anyway, see you all again soon.